Hi, and welcome to the weekly general reading for Monday, June 17th, 2019. Now, it does not have to be June 17th, 2019 in order for you to get something out of this video. We are just looking at the next 7 days ahead. Whenever you're watching this, it's going to be applied to the next 7 days. And we're looking for themes, looking to make some predictions, see some dynamics that might be going on, just kind of get a general sense of what your week's going to be like. All right? Everything you need to know about me is in that description, okay? So that includes like contact information and how to book a reading with me and all of that good stuff, all right? That said, I don't want to waste your time at all, so let's go ahead and name the piles here. Okay, so this green heart is pile number 1. The quartz crystal is pile number 2. The yellow feather is pile number 3. The red butterfly is pile number 4. The turquoise stone is pile number 5. And the kitty cat is pile number 6. All right. So while you guys are looking into that, just wanted to let you guys know that I am still behind, but I will be able to reopen for orders by next Monday. Okay, guys? So that's when I'm expecting to open for more orders. I will keep you guys informed, though. On Friday's video, I will update you if I think that won't happen, okay? And any of you guys that are waiting for your reading, know that you'll get it by then, okay? Like, not a problem. Alrighty, so, that said, let's go ahead and start with pile number 1. If you have not picked your pile, go ahead and pause the video. And otherwise, we're going to start with this pile, alright? Alright, guys. Hope you guys are having a good day. I know I am. I've been trying to lose weight, and I ended up finding out that I lost 4 pounds. Of course, when you're first starting off, you lose really quickly, though, so I'm hoping that the trend will stay. All right, so pile number 1, those of you who picked the green heart, here is your reading. We have the 3 of Cups, we have the 5 of Swords, and we have the 7 of Cups. I'm going to go ahead and put the cups together because it's a little bit easier to read that way. All right, we have Unicorn, we have Yoke, and we have Target. For your Lenormand, we have the Sun, followed by the Whip, and we have Disruption. Okay, so this is almost a conflicting reading, but I see the picture here. We have, you should be pretty happy all week, okay? You should be feeling pretty good. You might even notice that you're a little higher energy than usual, which is always good, especially if you're the age that I am or older, right? So yeah, high energy, feeling really good here. You're going to have a lot of different things to think about, though. A lot on your plate. You're going to have a lot of different options to go with. You might find yourself needing to make a decision. Just know that I don't feel like it's going to be a pressure kind of decision. It's just okay, you got to make up your mind about something, you know? So it's not going to like be the end all of everything. It's just that, you know, for those of you guys who picked this pile, there's going to be some kind of decisions. You're going to have a lot of different options to choose from. One thing that I do get, though, is that even though you're feeling really successful and everything, some other people in the background here, they might be feeling really, like, down in comparison. So there's 2 messages there. The first message is to just be aware of the people around you and make certain that when you are having all of this high energy and everything, that you can help them kind of help balance them out a little bit. And the other thing is that understand that when we're coming from a really positive place, or from a place that's in one way, those of us who are on the opposite end of that spectrum might seem more exaggerated, okay? So for example, we've got this guy at the end of a fight, and he has totally won. He's so happy, he's got all these swords, and the people that he defeated are like, oh my gosh, this really sucks, you know? And the guy in the front is like, oh my god, look at me, I'm winning, this is awesome. So do understand that in comparison, these people look really, really upset, but it could just be really appropriate for that situation. So I guess what I'm trying to say is you might be a little bit prone to seeing other people as being a little hypersensitive this week. Understand that that might just be from the place that you're coming from. Just know, as I'm sure every single one of you guys do know, everybody goes through hard times, and you know, if, you know, you can just remember, you know, I've been through hard times too, so just kind of keep that in mind, because I feel like this is more a warning, just like, you know, hey, don't step on people's toes, that kind of thing. So let me go ahead and tell you what's going on here. It looks like you're going to be completing a lot of goals, okay, hitting the target, you know, getting things done. And, you know, with with unicorns, this is all about using your intuition, okay? With the yoke, though, we are talking about maybe feeling down or a little frustrated. I really think that has to do with this decision that you're going to make, or this decision, or it could have to do with this stuff that we haven't talked about yet. So again, our Lenormand, our main card is the Sun, which is success. You know, this is great. We do have some work though, okay? The whip, you know, it can represent things that we do over and over and over again, some tedium, you know, getting things done. Like this target is talking about, you know, needing to make some decisions, but it's more like minutia, like decisions over small details instead of decisions of like big decisions, you know? Sometimes it can refer to sex, so I do want to mention that some of you guys might just be really successful when it comes to sex this week. But, you know, I really think that for the most part, you guys, the message for you guys is more along the lines of, you know, you're going to be feeling happy, you're going to be feeling successful, and if you're not, it's because you're just not aware that you're being so successful, okay? Because seriously, whatever you're doing this week is great. But that might feel a little tedious, you know, so just be aware of that. And then we have this disruption, okay? So I think that near the end of the week, you are going to have something really unexpected happen. Now, yes, this is the equivalent of the Tower, okay? It's not the Tower, it's disruption. It's a different deck, okay? So we're interpreting it differently because of that. But and it's not as detrimental in this deck, right? But it is something unexpected that happens that kind of shakes you up, okay? It doesn't even necessarily have to be a bad thing. It's just something unexpected is going to happen by the end of the week. I really believe it's going to be at the very end, okay? So whatever day it is today, 6 days from now, that's probably when it's going to happen, okay? And it's just going to throw you off. It's not, I mean, I don't feel like it's going to be... I don't feel like it's going to be real major, but it's going to just throw you off a little bit, and that's going to be a little bit weird going into next week. All right? Okay. So you guys have it pretty good this week. Alrighty. Hi, those of you who picked pile number 2, the quartz crystal, here is your reading. We have strength. Okay, we have the Four of Cups, we have a Death. Okay, so we've got 2 major arcana cards. It's going to be a big week. Okay, we have the Ear, so you're going to be hearing some good news. Pay attention to work. I feel like the good news might be about a job, okay? And then we have the Sun, which is talking about happiness and well-being. Oh goodness, you guys are having a great week. We've got the House, so we've got intimacy here. This can also represent the self, okay? And then we have the Heart. So really, with the Heart, with the Heart talking about, I'm sorry, with the Heart, I've lost the word. with the heart refining the house, okay, with it describing the house there, that's what I meant. This is really good, a great omen for friendship, for love, for romance, and for just bringing like people coming closer to you, okay. Just because it's a heart doesn't mean that it has to be a love relationship. It can be any kind of relationship of the heart, okay. And then we have choose wisely. So, yeah, I'm getting definitely with this and this, there's going to be some kind of decision that you're going to need to make. Okay, so let's go ahead and, oh, gosh, I hate it when that happens. Okay, so I don't feel like this is for most of you. I feel like this is just for a few of you. I actually think that this is one of those rare occurrences that death actually is representing a literal death, okay? Please don't freak out. That's just what I've been told to say, okay? I'm really, really sorry. I really don't want to freak you guys out. But I think that for those of you who that will mean something to you, it's okay. It's either that somebody is about to pass away, but you would know about it at this point. This would be something that you'd know about. This would not be unexpected, or that somebody's going to get really, really sick. Okay, so again, please don't freak out too much. This would be like, for example, if you know somebody who has been in the hospital recently, or if you know somebody who has a terminal illness or something like that, it would be something like that rather than just some random person in your life, okay? That's the way that it's playing out. And I'm also being told to say this is like not very many of you does this apply to. I mean, it applies to maybe like 10 of you at the most, so keep that in mind. Bottom line, you're gonna be strong through that. If you're the one, if you're one of the people that that plays through that, you're gonna be fine. You're gonna be okay. All right. For everybody else, we're just talking about something's gonna end. And it could be like the ending of a project. It could be the ending of maybe the school year. It could be the ending of a group that you were a participant of. Maybe some of you have decided to get rid of the pool boy. I don't understand why you got rid of the pool boy, but you've just decided that that's what you're going to do. I mean, it's just something's going to end, okay? And this is just confirming that that's going to happen. It's probably going to be more of a bigger deal than something small, though, okay? And then with strength, we've got you, again, with this intimate relationship, and I just really need to focus, I really need to let you guys know that when I say intimate, I don't necessarily mean sexual. I just mean intimate, like you guys are sharing your hearts with one another. You're sharing, you're having a meaningful connection. That's what I mean. And with the strength card, we have a connection going on. You've got this person who is really connecting with this animal and has tamed this animal, okay? So not only that, but it's also like it's within your control. You feel like you're managing it just fine, okay? This card is kind of like telling you that something is going to be offered to you this week, okay? It's not going to be necessarily a physical object, so it's not like somebody's going to be like, hey, check out this crystal, you can have it. It's not going to be like that. It's going to be something more abstract, like maybe like, somebody might want to share their feelings with you or something like that, just know that it's important to the person giving it to you, okay? So do make sure that you're honoring that, and that you're, if you don't like the person, then you can just be like, whatever. You can act just like this person in the card and be like, I don't care. But the bottom line is that you might miss it. Okay, because this person's not really paying attention. You might miss it, and it might be something that you could use help with. Again, we've got pay attention to your work and the ear, letting us know that there's good news coming. The good news might not have to do with work, but I feel like for some of you it does. And then we have happiness and well-being. So again, this card, because I really don't want my viewers to be sitting here like, oh my God, no. We have strength, we have happiness and well-being, we have the heart in the house. It's very, very positive, okay? I just got that flash that there was one or two, maybe 10 of you guys that might represent over there. And even for those who it does represent, you're still going to be feeling strong and happiness and well-being. You're still going to be getting good news and all of that. It's something that you would expect. It's not something out of nowhere, okay? With the heart and the house is representing a situation that is most likely intimate. You don't invite people into your house unless you want to show them the most intimate area, that you have, and I'm not just saying that as an introvert, I'm saying that as a person, we don't invite people into our homes unless we trust them and all of that kind of stuff. Okay. So you've got somebody that you're inviting in who really cares about you and that you can have a really strong connection with. So if there's somebody that you're feeling like you want to be more close with, and all of that kind of stuff, now's the time to do it. This week would be a great time because we have really great energy surrounding you guys. For some of you, this might have to do with a family member that maybe you haven't talked to as much lately, coming around. I know that sometimes me and my siblings don't talk for a few weeks, and that's weird for us though. We usually talk every day, but sometimes we'll not talk for a few weeks and it'll feel kind of weird, It could be something like that, or it could be somebody who is estranged that's coming back, but I think that that's just for some of you. For most of you, it's just a person that you want to get to know more intimately and they're sharing it, okay? So it's like requited, mutual interest in becoming more intimate, okay? And again, for some of you that might mean sexual intimacy, but for most of you, it's just sharing the inner world with somebody else, okay? We do have this kind of warning to choose wisely. This is having to do with your emotions. Now, and now if we're talking about somebody that you're gonna let into your life, to be intimate with, that kind of thing, learning to trust somebody a little bit more than you normally would, that kind of thing. It doesn't have to do with that person. This is having to do with how you express yourself in general, and it's like, make sure that you are acting emotionally appropriate to the situation. So I'm trying to think of a really good example. Okay, this is the one that's coming to mind, so I guess that this is the one I'm supposed to tell you. So when I was in high school, I went through really, really bad panic attacks, and I didn't know this until several years later when I was studying it, that there's something having to do with panic attacks and people wanting to jump out of windows. I had no idea that there was anything about, it's a really, really strange thing. But so what I'd be doing is I would be sitting in class and I would start feeling anxious, and then I'd have my panic attack. And I'm sure to everybody else, I was just normally just sitting there, but inside of me, it was like trains were going through me and all of that. It was horrible. It was awful. I would never wish it upon anybody. I can't even describe how terrifying it was. But it tended to happen after lunch in this one class that, because I even remember the classroom very vividly, okay? And I remember I kept thinking, I wanted to jump out of the window to, because it's weird, because it's like when you get a panic attack, one of the first instincts is to try to get away from it, because it feels like there's something that's so threatening that you have to get away from it. But at the same time, that thing that's threatening is happening inside of you, so you can't actually get away from it. You have to just go through it, and then it'll be okay, hopefully, eventually, right? But it would have been very inappropriate for me to react to a panic attack by jumping out of a window, right? So when we say choose wisely, it was like my willpower there in high school to sit at my desk and just kind of go through whatever I was going through, because of course I knew that there was a door there too, and I could go out the door, maybe pretend like I needed to get a drink or use the potty or something like that. But I made the choice, whether it was conscious or not, to just sit in that chair and go through it it. That's what I'm trying to say when I say choose wisely, emotionally appropriate response, okay? Now, I do want to say, when we're talking about clinical experiences, okay, like clinical depression, clinical anxiety, that's why I was kind of hesitant to use that example. There is no appropriate response to that, okay? The kinds of experiences one has when there's something wrong with their brain chemistry, or maybe not wrong, or their brain chemistry isn't neurotypical, that is something completely different, okay? So I do want to say, if you're somebody who suffers from something like that and you can't help the way that you act, sometimes when it comes to your emotions, and maybe you have difficulty regulating your moods and everything like that, that does not apply to you, okay? I'm just saying that in general, those of you who pick this pile might feel like overreacting to something, or might feel like reacting instead of responding to something, and it seems like in retrospect that might be a little bit embarrassing. So just kind of be aware of that, okay? And do what you like. And really, seriously, if you end up acting foolish or whatever because you get emotional, whatever, somebody says you're too sensitive, be like, well, I'm glad I'm not insensitive, right? I mean, everybody loses it from time to time, whether you have a clinical disorder or not. So don't even worry about it if you do, okay? Seriously, it's not the worst thing that can happen. It really isn't. And most people have been through it. So if you do that, just explain to the person, you know what? I was really, really just out of my mind when I saw that. I misread it or whatever happens, and then you're fine, okay? Alrighty. Hi, those of you who picked the feather, here's your reading. We have the Four of Coins, we have the Ace of Cups, we have the Three of Swords, we have the Four-leaf clover, so we do have some good fortune here. We have the Frying Trap, trouble and accusations, the Lobster, a financial pinch. Yeah, I was before I even go on to the rest of this, I saw this and I was like, ooh, you might feel a little bit tight this week when it comes to money. Again, I only read for the next 7 days, so do keep that in mind, but we do have 2 cards indicating some kind of financial problems. We do have something new in love, okay? So we do have good luck there, or it could just be a relationship, okay? Because this is all about feelings. It's all about connection, that kind of thing, sharing feelings with one another, okay? So we do have good fortune there, but then we have trouble and accusations here as well, and this has to do more with you know how you'll like start thinking about something, and maybe it's something you felt really great about when it first happened, but then you start thinking about it a little bit more and you're like, wait a minute, did I just totally misread that? Or, something like that, and then you'll get yourself worked up about it, that kind of thing. I feel like it's that kind of thing, only it's coming from someone else. Like somebody else has gotten themselves worked up and comes and accuses you of something or says something to you, okay? It might be people from pile number 2, and like if it is, just be nice to them. They're just going through some really huge crap, okay? But if it's not, it just feels like there's somebody might act a little bit emotionally, emotionally inappropriate to the situation, and it would be hurtful, okay? Understand that when we have trouble in accusations, most people who make accusations don't have they can't back it up, because most people won't be like, point the finger and be like, hey, you did this, or whatever, unless they had the evidence. And if they have the evidence to back that up with, then they would just calmly come to you and be like, hey, so I know you've been lying to me because I actually found this that, shows that you actually did end up getting 5 cats instead of just 1. So let's talk about that. You know what I mean? So basically what I'm trying to say is that it's not founded on anything that's solid, but somebody's going to accuse you of something this week, and it's just going to stir up trouble. I think somebody else is even going to be involved with it, like a third party too. So it's just really yucky feeling, okay? But just know that that's going to happen. It'll be fine. You also have some news coming, and we have it twice over, okay? Because we have the writer here. The writer brings news pretty quickly, and then we also have the letter, okay? So this is like, people are going to be communicating with you a lot, okay? You'll probably get communication in person and communication, like some kind of electronic communication, okay? So this is great, actually. And then we have movement, choices, and decisions, yeah. You've got some decisions to make. One thing that's really fortuitous about this is that this does have to do with coins, so it does look like your money situation by the end of the week, you're going to know that everything's going to be okay. It's just at the very beginning, you're going to be like, gosh, how am I going to get through this thing? Or maybe something will come up and you'll have to, you know, do some maintenance or something, or you'll have to deal with the 5 cats that your spouse got, or whatever it is, you know. And that, you know, that will affect you. But again, by the end of the week, you'll be fine. And I feel like this, for some of you, might even be news of something, like a job, you know, or something like that, that's going to help you feel better about money. And another thing that I want to say about this, though, is that something that really strikes me about it is, like, it's not so much that you actually don't have enough. It's more, for most of you, it's going to be more like the perception that you don't have enough. So it might not even be true. You know what I mean? It's like you're going to look at maybe your bank account, or you're going to look at what you have and be like, oh no, I don't have enough resources. But in actuality, you'll end up having way more than you need, you know? So it could be due to some kind of miscalculation on how many resources you will need, you know? So maybe your spouse, when they got those 5 cats, ended up getting, you know, all this cat food in the litter boxes, and they're going to clean them too, and all of this stuff, you know. Sorry, I keep coming back to that. But yeah, so yeah, you know, it doesn't look actually bad when it comes to this money situation, or the material world, the resources, that kind of situation. It just looks like there's going to be this perception of being in a pinch. Now, some of you actually will be in one, but regardless of whatever category you're in, you're going to be feeling a lot better by the end of the week. All right? Okay. Alrighty. Hi, those of you who picked the red butterfly, here is your reading. We have the 3 of Wands. Maybe some of you guys are going to travel, are looking to travel. We've got the 8 of Coins, so we also have some hard work. The 8 of Wands, okay, so we've got some fast movement too. Gosh, positive movement forward, look at that. We've got another card that references travel, okay. We have the Axe, we have Teardrops, and we have the Carrot. Okay, this is really interesting. I'll get to this in just a minute. Okay, so your Lenormand is the dog, modified by the birds. Okay, so that's really interesting because both of these are very social cards generally. Okay, so wherever you are, you're going to have some kind of, you're going to be interacting with at least one person who's very, very loyal to you, okay? Let's focus on this first. Any of you guys who are planning maybe a family trip or a vacation or even a day off, you know, that kind of thing, or been thinking about traveling and whatever, this week would be the best time to do that. Now, not all of you guys are that's not gonna resonate with all of you guys. Some of you guys are waiting for somebody else to make a move. And some of you are going to be moving away from something in order for you to be happier. Okay. So, this represents basically it represents movement. Okay. Some of you, it's going to be another person moving. Okay. And some of you, it's going to be yourself. All right. This gives us some information about that movement. It's going to be quick. Okay. This is quick movement. And you're gonna be so busy that it's probably not even gonna be something that you even make a decision about. It's like the decision will make itself, for you. It's like, I don't know. It's like, I don't know. It's like this, let's say I'm like, gosh, I want to look really good at this party, and I have a purple shirt and I have a blue shirt, and I don't know which one I should wear. And so I have my partner Greg. I say, hey, go wash these shirts, and when they're all nice and clean, I'll try both of them on and see how I look. And then he goes down to the laundry room, and he does the clothes, and as he's walking up the stairs, one of the shirts falls out, and our dog gets it and decides to chew it all up, and I only have one shirt, right? Well, the decision's already been made for me. I can't wear the other shirt because the dog got it, right? Now, our dog does not chew up clothes, okay? She sticks to sandals, okay? But yeah, I mean, that's basically, what I mean by the decision's going to be made for you, kind of, about which person's moving, or, that kind of thing. Again, we have like a friend. Okay, this person is very loyal to you. This person might actually also be a spouse or your partner. It could be even somebody that you're really, really interested in who is a friend, And then we have the birds. Now, the birds can be one of two things. It can be a small group, like, so you might join a group with a friend, okay? And I think that that's what's going to be applying to most of you guys. Or you are going to, or you're going to end up having rumors being spread about you, which, that's not ever very nice. But the thing with this is that the friend's going to tell you about it as soon as they hear it. So if anybody's talking about you, your friend will tell you, okay? Somebody who's loyal to you will be like, hey, wait a minute, and they'll stick up for you. So at least you've got that. I'm just trying to feel it out. I'm really trying to feel, and I can't give a number of how many of you this is going to apply to or not. So I'm just going to go ahead and guess it's 50-50. Now, I'm not being told 50-50, but I'm just guessing that of my viewers, about half of you it's going to be one thing and half of you it's going to be the other. Here's the deal, though. We've got the axe, right? This is about forces working against you. So this could have to do with the rumors, okay? What's weird about this is that I see you minding your own business, doing what you need to be doing this week, okay? Like, not, like, pretty much like no BS this week, So anything anybody could make up about you or say about you is totally of their making, okay? It's not true in any way, and I think that most people would be able to see through that. So the good news is that if somebody is talking about you, it's going to be clear that it's not, like, true, okay? But we also have personal sorrow here with the teardrops. This could be completely unrelated. And then we also have an opportunity or a windfall with the carrots, okay? Obviously, when we have a great personal sorrow paired up with a windfall, that can be associated a lot with, some end-of-life experiences, right? So do keep that in mind. But I think that for the most part, that's going to be, they're going to be unrelated. I really think that these are all three unrelated, actually. These two obviously could go together, and I want to acknowledge that, but I think that they're unrelated. I think that you're going to just feel sad at one point, and then the opportunity or a windfall. I feel like this is more like you're working so hard. It could be a job opportunity. Or it could be that you're taking on an extra task at work, or you're taking on like a side job or something, and is going to give you more of an opportunity than you think, that kind of thing. One thing I do want to mention, because it really strikes me when this happens, we have 3 8s, okay? And the 8s are associated with a little bit of obsession, okay? In the wands, the wands are all about taking action. It's about fire. When a person is in the 8 with the wands, they're moving fast. They're not like, it's like they're not even thinking about it. They're moving fast. Now, sometimes you just got to think on your feet. You've just got to go after what you want, and that's what's appropriate. So, some of you guys, that's the way it's going to be. And then, the 8 of the Eight of Coins is like the workaholic card, you know? And this 8 here, we've got positive movement forward. Yeah. But it's like sometimes we can be like so, you know, like it looks like this person's on an ocean, not a lake, right? And they've got a sailboat. It's like, well, where do they think, you know, are they going to go to another country in a sailboat? Or are they just kind of hanging out on the water, right? Sometimes when we get really focused on what we want, we forget about some of the practicalities, you know? So the workaholic might forget about their family or forget about, you know, the fact that they have friends that might want to hear from them and make sure that they're still alive, that kind of thing. You know, when we act really fast, you know, it's like you just gotta, you know, hindsight is always 20/20, right? Now I'm not saying that there are absolutely times where you've got to just work really hard at something. There's definitely times where you've got to work fast, you know, or move fast, right? And there's definitely times where you've just got to go, you know, when it's like, it's time to leave, I've got to just trust it, right? So I don't want to, I mean, it feels like this is an appropriate energy for you guys to be in. But on the other side of it, and that's why I mention it, is that there is this kind of obsessive energy with the 8s that I did want to mention, just so you guys know that that might affect you, okay? Alrighty, guys. It looks like you have a lot of, like, you're going to have a big week, you know, it's going to be filled with ups and downs. But hey, you know, we all have them. Okay, hi, pile number 5, those of you who picked the turquoise. Here is your reading. We've got the Queen of Pentacles, we've got the 7 of Pentacles, we've got the Knight of Cups. Okay, we have the Child, and the Child is modified by the mice, okay? And we have Triumph. It's great. We have the Bear. Okay, so be aware of any kind of money matters, okay? The bear can sometimes mean danger in money matters, okay? So I want to make sure that you guys know that. The bear can also just represent a really strong female presence, okay? Like the mama bear. The boot is like, you know, hurry up, get this done, get this done. It's kind of like the Triumph card here, you know, like let's go, let's do this. And then we have the Wall. So the Wall is an interesting card to get because it's like, sometimes we have, you know how people, okay, let me restart. You know how sometimes people will talk about third-party situations, and they're usually talking about a situation where you've got, you know, 2 people and then there's an extra person, like the third wheel, or maybe like, you know, maybe a man or a woman is married and they decide to have a boyfriend or girlfriend on the side, you know, that kind of thing. It's, you know, the Wall could also be a third-party situation because there's 2 people and then a wall in between them. Do you see what I mean? It's like something that causes a wedge in between the 2 of you, right? So I really feel like there's going to be some kind of force that, you know, whether it's abstract or physical, that's going to come in between you and another person this week. That's going to inhibit your ability to understand where the other one is coming from. And here's the deal. The reason why it's going to be difficult to understand is because you won't be able to, like, literally be able to picture it. Sometimes people will tell you, you know, hey, I had a migraine. And it's like, oh yeah, I've had a headache before. It's like, no, I really had a migraine. And it's like, maybe if you've never had a migraine, it would be like impossible to know what that means. You know, I'm just using that as an example because it's a really good example. So that would be a misunderstanding where, like, you just can't see, you just can't know. For those of you who have never had one, you just don't know how horrible it is when a migraine does hit. I have had maybe 5 in my life, and they were, oh my God, they were so awful. I have no idea how other people that have them more often even handle it. It's just amazing. But yeah, they really knock you out. And I mean, it's ridiculous, but okay, enough about migraines. What we're talking about is some kind of third party kind of putting a wedge in between you and somebody else. just understand that there are some times where you won't be able to see eye to eye because there's just this perspective that is needed in order for that to happen. One thing I can say about this misunderstanding is that I don't feel like it's in love. I feel like it's in either a friendship or with a coworker. Okay, so just be aware of that too. And I would just say if you're running into basically a brick wall over and over with somebody that you're just not, maybe you just know that they're not getting what you're saying, just say, maybe I'm not being very clear, and then just wait until next week to talk about it, because I just feel like this week is not going to be the time where you guys are going to be able to communicate clearly. So let's talk about all of this great stuff here. So we've got the Queen of Pentacles and the Seven of Pentacles. It's looking good financially for you guys. I had a previous reading where it actually looked not so great for some people. So this is a nice, a nice counter to that. So yeah, we've got the Queen of Pentacles. She's sitting there. She's got everything she needs. She's fertile. She can make things happen. If you are in a situation where you're feeling kind of idle, like you're not really doing a whole lot of stuff, and hey, there's time for that, okay? So no knocking anybody who's idle, Some people, gosh, sometimes I think I need a year off when I kind of go to town at, working really hard and stuff like that. But anyway, this Queen of Pentacles, if you're idle right now, this is a time to get back into the swing of things. So this would have to do with, like, maybe you haven't been exercising as much lately. Well, now's the time to start exercising again. Or maybe you haven't been, working full time, and you have the ability to work full time, and maybe now's the time to do that, or, something like that. The Queen of Pentacles is showing us that, like, we've got a lot of abundance, and we also have the resources to do that, okay? The Seven of Pentacles also is kind of just looking, sevens are the cards where we kind of reestablish, like, we need to look at this and we need to kind of think, what's the best way forward, that kind of thing, all right? And so when we have the Seven of Pentacles energy, we have somebody that's kind of reassessing their material stuff, okay? So when we've got an abundance of material things, and we've got reassessing it. So you're going to be thinking a lot about the physical world, okay? That's fine, that's normal. We do have somebody that's going to be coming forward, talking about their emotions and all of that. Now, this doesn't necessarily have to be a romantic partner. This is a general reading, but it could be somebody who wants to have a friendship. It could be a romantic person. Generally, this is a romantic gesture, just so you know. So most of you guys are probably going to experience a romantic gesture, but it could also just be somebody wanting to offer an emotional experience with you, okay? Another thing about the Knight of Cups is that the Knight of Cups can sometimes convey messages on the behalf of other people. So you might hear from somebody else, like, oh, I know this person who likes you, that kind of thing. Listen to them. They're true. They're being honest. They really do. Okay. We have a lot of success this week, so that's great. Okay. Positive movement forward. You're going to be feeling like you get a lot of stuff done. You're going to be really productive. Now, this is the thing that this would be the area that would concern me the most. Because really, a misunderstanding, a misunderstanding isn't like a falling out. A misunderstanding is just like you or the other person or both aren't getting where another person's coming from. And that can be fixed really easily, okay? But we do have we've got something new, and something's being taken away from it, okay? So it's like some kind of new opportunity is going to end up turning out to be not as great as you thought it was. Okay, that's going to be true for about 80% of you. So most of you guys watching this video and who picked the turquoise, that's what it's talking about, okay? For about 20% of you, a child around you might get sick. And I'm not getting anything negative about it, just that they're sick. And that's sad. It's really, really sad, seriously. Especially if you're a parent and your child's sick, it's like you can't do anything about it. And they just, their eyes are so big, and it's so sad. I can't explain it. It just is so bad. But yeah, we do have that. it could even mean that you've got to take something away from a child because maybe they're misusing it. I know that, me me and her dad actually do know that our 12-year-old daughter takes her phone and her DS with her to bed and plays on it, and we let her do that because we know, all right, she's going to be doing this kind of stuff, it's like, we're basically buying time so that if she ever, goes to her room and is actually like doing drugs or something like that, we'll have that, hey, we know that you stay up late on your phone and stuff like that, but you can't do drugs here. But we know that. But sometimes we do have to take them away. Like if she's still awake and it's like 11 or 12 and it's a school night, we just go in there and be like, hey, how about you give that DS to us? She loves Pokemon, right? So it could just be that you need to take something away from your child. That they're it's just messing with them, I mean, you'll know what I mean if you're one of those people. Yeah, especially like cookies. Oh my gosh, those sugar rushes, they really are a thing. Okay, anyway, enough about parenting. You guys have a really good week. We do have the kind of danger and money areas here. I really feel like this is more gonna be like a strong female presence, like a female boss, or maybe an in-law, or your mother, or your grandmother, or just some strong female influence is gonna be at play. Because the only negative here that I'm getting is like, yeah, there's gonna be a misunderstanding, and also like something being taken away from something new. Or it's going to turn out to be smaller than what it was, what you thought it was going to be. All right, guys. So it looks like you have a good week coming up. Right, hi, pile number 6. Those of you who picked the kitty cat, this is a tuxedo cat. My cat is a tuxedo cat. So that's why I picked the tuxedo cat. All right, so, wow, this is great. We have the 3 of Pentacles. All right, we have the 10 of Cups. We have the 9 of Wands. What else do we have here? Oh, wow. Okay, so we have the Anchor, and it's modified by the Garden. We have the Dragon, okay. We have the Haystack, and we have the Staff, and we also have the Waiting Game. So you guys are going to be waiting on something. That's okay. I don't feel like this is a negative thing because we have all of this positive influence as well. The 3 of Coins, I like to call this, it's funny because I have names for both of these cards. The 3 of Coins, I like to call it the Look at Me card, because it's like, look what I did. Look what I did. Isn't this great? It's like looking for feedback. Like, hey, look, aren't I cool? Tell me I'm cool. Tell me I'm awesome. You might be kind of feeling like you need some positive feedback from people. Some people just aren't as good at giving positive feedback or just giving feedback in general as other people. And sometimes you just need to ask. And the way you do that is just be like, hey, like if it's your boss or if it's your friend, it's like, can you give me some feedback about how I'm doing with this thing? And they'll tell you, they just have to remember it. So if you're worried that maybe you're not doing such a good job because you're not getting positive feedback, just go ahead and ask. It's not that big of a deal, and you'll find out that you are doing a really good job. One more thing about this, sorry. People tend to speak up when they're not happy about something way more than when they're happy about something, okay? So that's another thing to kind of keep in mind here, especially if it's at work. If somebody's not happy with the way that you're doing something, they're going to tell you, okay? Anyway, so we've got the Happily Ever After card here. So it looks like things with your family or things in love are going to be really like going well, okay? You're emotionally on top of things. You're not feeling emotionally negative, or if you are, it's not going to be because of anything that's actually happening in the real world. It's going to be like something you might imagine. And it's interesting because we do have the Dragon. This is about imagination, and this is about making certain that when you're just imagining things versus when things are actually happening. It's like self-delusion when you're kind of fantasizing and stuff. So yeah, there might be these two combined can say, oh, okay, you might be telling yourself something's much more negative than it actually is, for example. Then we have the Nine of Wands. So this is how I interpret this, especially combined with the waiting game, okay? Because I really feel like they're both, connected here. Is that it's like we've got everything lined up, and we know we're gonna have to take some action, okay? We know we're gonna have to do something soon. But I feel like you're not going to be doing it this week, you're going to be doing it next week. So just know that if there's something that you feel like real antsy about, like, gosh, I just got to get that thing done. I want to get started, or it's like, I want to complete this, because sometimes it's about completing a task too. This week's just not going to be the week for it. Sometimes, of course, there's delays every so often and all of that. That's what this is about. Don't worry about it. You're going to be fine. In general, you should be feeling very good this week, okay? We also have the Anchor and the Garden, which is a kind of an interesting combination, because when we have this Anchor, we've got loyalty, stability, we've got where you're going. An Anchor is a really great thing to get when you're if a client's asking about a spouse and I get the Anchor, it's like, I know that person's very faithful, that person's sticking around, they're not going to go anywhere, that kind of thing. So do understand that this can mean, because the Garden's about the public, it could mean that you're going to be anchored in your community, or you're some kind of an anchor in your community. It could also mean that you really stand out in some kind of group that you're a part of, okay? This could even be something really small, or comparatively small, like an online forum or something like that. Like, I'm really active on one of those online forums, and it's like, it's a big deal to me. It's not small at all, but I know that a lot of people would kind of consider it small, since, like, oh, you have friends on the internet that don't exist? It's like, yeah. And they're real friends, and so if I personally got this, I would be like, oh yeah, I'm a big influencer in that community, because I post there a lot and everything. No, I won't tell you what it is. But yeah, the Anchor and the Garden, just let us know that you're where you're supposed to be, okay? Because, like, the Garden's, like, yes, it talks about community, it talks about the public, but it also talks about a place, right? You're where you're supposed to be, where you're going to be able to grow, where you're going to be able to nurture yourself and get the resources that you need. So do keep that in mind, which brings up the Staff. You will be taken care of in difficult times. If you're going through some time, now I don't feel like this is going to be applying to all of you guys. I think that this is just applying to those of you who are just going through some tough times. You will be taken care of. Don't worry about it, okay? You've got some really great friends or family members that really want to help. And if you're feeling hesitant about asking for help, you really don't feel that way, because I can't imagine a time, if either one of my children ever needed my help, that I would ever not want to give it, okay? Like, I can't even imagine that. So if there's somebody that cares about you, that's willing to help you, take advantage of it, find a way to pay them back in whatever way that you can, but you've got people that want to take care of you, okay? So you do have that resource to reach out to. We do have the Haystack. This is talking about karma. Now, I don't like to force religion on anybody, okay? So I'm gonna try to say this as a more universal idea. Understand that what you put out this week might come back to you, or something that you put out last week might come back to you, like, I don't know, like, maybe you made fun of somebody and then you're gonna be made fun of, or something like that. Just be aware of that energy that you put out, because people that just kind of go around, they're constantly nasty, people are nasty back to them. It's just the way that it works, Be aware of the energy you're putting out. That's what I would say about that. And then the Dragon is just like, you might be feeling particularly creative right now. Stay anchored. You see, you've got the anchor anyway, but stay anchored in reality. You're fine. Just know that you might be prone to thinking negatively about a situation, okay, this really looks like this picture perfect, you know? Alrighty, guys. So you have a pretty good week coming up. Alright, thank you guys so much for watching to the end of my video. I just wanted to say how happy I am with where this channel is going, and I am really excited about all the great, you know, comments that I'm getting back, the likes and subscribes. I love it all. You guys are so supportive of me, and you're such a great community. I really look forward to you know, what I've got in store for you this whole, in my area, I'm in the northern hemisphere, so this whole summer I've got some new content that I'm excited to put out that'll be more towards the end of July, and I'm excited about putting out some stuff on twin flame relationships with my coworker Shannon, which many of you guys have interacted with at one point or another, whether you knew it or not. He takes care of all of my comments, and he responds to my emails, to some of them, and he fills the orders, and he does all of the boring stuff that I don't have to do. So yeah, so that'll be interesting. And I just want to say thank you for watching, and I will see you on my next video.